there something you need? Or something you want to say?
خلينا نقول شو يصير خلي يصير يعني شو يسوي لنا قابل.
Hercules was the son of the F4 back then, and he led our warriors to face the Tacit discords. He died in that cursed tide. Intense emotions easily blend with other forces.
Lupa's role in this story isn't yours! Lupa, this is something only you can do.
Tell me what I need to do.
Read the script. Adapt as required.
What we see thrives in the lower city's waters.
I will not give it the chance to make the people of Rinascita weep and bleed. The Threnodian created to be a resonator for its power. But I wasn't the only one.
After my role was erased, Cartathea must have found the half-human, half-sea creature. And the Fraxidus, like the warrior, she chose to remain on the closing of that page, to give new stories a fighting chance. But I can try draining the water through the remaining ones.
اوكي حيفرغ لنا المي المفروض.
That monster is hiding in the depths of the aqueducts.
الله الساتر شح نلقى جوا.
Just this gate standing between me and the heart of the aqueducts. It won't open. I'll have to find another route. Huh? The copper mirror is calling.
شنو هذا؟
The warrior used it to see the past. I wonder if there's anything of that here.
Okay. Use the copper mirror truth. Huh? Sephora ويا جوليا؟
I've already pulled that body from the sea.
Excellent, Domina Julia. Keeping one's word is the foundation of any solid partnership. I know, Septimont's current F4 doesn't quite heed the Senate's wishes, but we'll see to that. A cup of poisoned wine, a passing fly, a dagger. Fate strikes where least expected. With someone as clever and calculated as you at the helm, the House of Silver need not fear for its survival.
I do not work with you for our sake. I do this for Septimont. Some of us have forgotten the terror of life adrift at sea. To survive the tide, one must make the right choices. We'll speak of other matters later. But tell me, why would you want a dead woman who fell into the sea?
Mia?
Dead woman? Ah, you mean Mia? Indeed, she is the very heart of the unit I spoke of. The one we intend to build deep within these underground aqueducts. Alive or dead, her body holds the information we need. The Fraxidus's experiments here will continue for some time. In the meantime, covering up this little laboratory's existence will require your assistance, madam.
The heart? That weakling's resonance abilities were meager at best. Her performance in the arena was nothing special.
أخي جوليا ايش قد مكروهة.
Winning the Grand Aegon was precisely what brought the shadow of death upon her. Luck and misfortune, nobility and lowliness, weakness and strength. A person's nature is like two sides of a coin.
زين هم ما فهمونا شنو السبب الأساسي اللي خلى ميا تقتل روحها؟ يعني هي فازت بالايجون، يعني المفروض تكون فرحانة. ليش انهزمت وقتلت روحها؟ هاي اذا قتلت روحها، اذا ما حد قتلها.
And I've always found beauty in inevitable tragedies.
اخ كريستوفر بك وهاي مشاكلته.
So Mia has been dead all this time. She didn't leave Septimonte when she vanished. The sea took her.
تركها لو هي راحت له، ما دافتهم. انا اكثر هي راحت له.
This place has the Fraxidus written all over it. Without the Silvers keeping the place hidden, they wouldn't have dared.
اوبا
The irony.
قصة ثانية.
A Septimontian aiding the enemy to build their den in the heart of our city.
جوليا.
Even the impregnable Griffon's fortress crumbles from within.
شوف. اوكي خلينا نشوف. هي عمية هنا.
I trust you've seen the experimental unit in the aqueducts.
experimental unit. Wow.
What do you think?
If not for the sword embedded in her chest, I could mistake the corpse for being alive.
Indeed. Decades have passed, yet Mia remains as she was when first pulled from the sea. Her data has been invaluable. As the Threnodian's failed resonator, this specimen is in its own way remarkable.
يعني مية نفس كارتيثيا، بس فشت انه تصير هي مالت الريزونيتر. حلو.
You know, it wasn't so long ago that the rover intervened and Cartithia broke free from that tower. I discovered that a small piece of the Threnodian's essence within Mia was reawakened with the tower's resurgence into our world.
Sounds as though you found new inspiration.
Yes. Septimonte will host the Great Aegon soon. I've come up with a rather intriguing idea. Before her death, Mia also attended the tournament. I'll use that as the fictitious anchor to craft a play to rewrite reality itself. I've already discussed terms with it and reached a modest agreement.
You spoke with the Threnodian. Has Leviathan already awakened?
هسه افتهمت. يعني مية اصلا ميتة، وهو دا يمسح دور لوبا من القصة حتى يخلي مية بمكانها، انه دا يجبرها، لانه هي اصلا ما لها دور، هي ميتة من زمان. يا دودة يا كريستوفر. زين يقول لك has Leviathan already awakened، يعني Leviathan ما مات تماما. حلو. كارتيثيا حتلتقي بالنمسيس مالتها.
Only a fragment of it remains. A weakened, cunning shard, desperate to grow stronger. I'll fashion a story for this sea creature, enabling it to fulfill what it once sought, to have the dark tides swallow Septimonte whole. The Threnodian once sought to use Mia to find Septimonte's central hub in order to corrupt the beacon system. Even if met with failure, it would control the champion's mind to infiltrate the city's upper echelons. Oh well, it all failed in the end. In the face of her futility to resist corruption, that girl chose death. She drove a sword into her heart and leapt into the sea before choking on her own blood.
على الموت الجايفة.
Fascinating, isn't it? Faced with the same predicament, strength and weakness still make a difference. The Blessed Maiden single-handedly thwarted the Threnodian's designs in Raguna, but this poor soul had no choice but to take her own life. A death so theatrical, so saturated with sorrow. How poetic.
Beautiful tragic.
How beautifully tragic.
Ugh.
I don't care for your taste, Christopher.
اي والله.
I'm merely curious. What ending have you penned for Septimont this time?
Oh, such an impatient reader, Frolova. This play is nothing more than an amplifier designed to nurture the Threnodian's lingering power. Once it grows large enough, I'll overlay the Sonoro onto reality.
Oh.
All that's needed is for Domina Julia to select the right champion. Swapping out the protagonist is hardly a challenge. Once the sea creature grows within the cradle I forged from the dark tide, the hymn of journeying paradise will spread from Septimont across Renacita. Really, compared to those Septimontians who've long forgotten Mia, the story I've written for her is far more thrilling.
الثريلينج مالتك ما اعتقد نفس الثريلينج الطبيعي. يعني بنية ماتت وما خلصت من عندكم.
And what if it fails?
Then so be it. You know, Frolova, stories are but mankind's attempt to imagine and rehearse fate. If this play proves Rover worthy of becoming the protagonist of my story, if they pass their trial by fire, then isn't that a victory as well?
خطية هالمية والله.
Disgusting.
اي والله. صح لسانك.
To treat Septimont like a plaything. Unforgivable. What is so poetic or romantic about a story where someone is driven to death?
خافي لو بطب من بين العميق زايد. ما قدرين طلعين بعدين. هذا ما كنت اتفاعل بالجرس. القصاصة يعني صح يفهمون بيها بس الجانب المظلم دا يصير. سمنو 100 توقعون؟
Still lingering, Mia. A fading reverberation that should have dissolved in the deep long ago.
Where are you going?
To claim the title. Was that not your unfulfilled wish?
That was never mine. The arena.
معقولة؟
I don't need this victory.
But I do. Without a champion and the lion beast, I cannot touch the central hub left by Imperator. You, Cartathea, both my daughters, my very creations. Why this fruitless resistance? Has Septimont ever granted you kindness? They neither love you nor need you. Long have you been forgotten?
خطية.
We were raised by them. You will never understand.
Proud in battle and yet yearning for strength. I know the heart of the Septimontians far better than you. Mia, you are simply too afraid to face their true nature. You choose to deceive yourself. You cannot admit that they used you and then cast you aside. You cannot accept that from the start you were insignificant.
أخ. لا.
Viburnum. My flowers.
Hush, it matters not. Your thoughts are of little consequence.
طبة بالعميق مية، ما أعرف شلون حنطلعها. هي أصلا ميتة، يعني احنا بس مجرد نخلصها.
Viburnum. The bloodleaf viburnum of Septimont. Oh, I understand. It's a flower often given to gladiators. A symbol of victory.
Down. اخ اللوبات يا ملا تحمسين يطبون جواب بالزايد. ما كافي عننا نحن 100 بدنا نقدر نطلعها. بعد الموسيقى.
I've always carried this shame. Shame for something I didn't choose. Shame for something that's just there. Sometimes it turns into doubt. I try to live free, and I do most days. But still, I see it. I see the pain in their faces. In the ones who fall behind, the ones who leave the field beaten, the ones who pin all their hopes on me. I've always wondered if I didn't have this gift, could I have reached this point with clean hands? Should I have judged those who trampled the rules to survive? Or was I blind to my own arrogance? Now, I don't think like that anymore.
أوه. وصلنا لها.
The warrior is stronger than me, no doubt, but he treats everyone the same. He didn't choose to stand alone. Instead, he chose to trust me. Cartothea spent years trapped by the weight of everyone's expectations. Never stepped foot in Septimont before, but still sailed across the seas to be here. And Mia, her resonance ability might be weak, but she never ran from a fight. She fought till her last breath. A heart isn't shaped by what it's born with or what it's been given. I've underestimated others. And I've underestimated myself too. But you, the arrogance, thinking you understand the darkness in people's hearts, but you don't have a single drop of life in you! Beautiful as ever. The Griffon's fortress. My city, Septimont. Built by the hands of the people, not the Sentinel and not the Threnodian. Where there's light, there's always shadow. But people need light. They'll chase it no matter what. And they'll learn to live with the shadow. Mia, Cartathea, they were born and raised on these islands. They are daughters of Rinasita. They belong to no gods but their own.
Was it real? Was it mine? Was it worth it?
قاعد لها
Sometimes I feel
للرايف.
distrust and pressed by the screams.
واو بس الأغنية تخبط.
All I know is my desire.
سوري.
My love won't fade. I'll set the fire for your stars.
صار.
Better to die than to be a puppet.
ميا.
Death does not scare me.
If divinity takes up arms against the innocent, I will raise my sword against divinity.
أوه. False divinity. There is more disobedience. ذكرت المقطع.
I heard your request. But I prefer to handle this my way.
Victory isn't won in an instant. It takes patience and perseverance.
I believe in you. Warrior.
أوه. هتصير حركة. هاي خبط تصير المياه الأصلية سطر عليها لفايث.
I swear by the eternal sun, I will slay you!
ها
A human life is nothing more than a screen between life and death.
Dark Tide. Dark Tide. اوه طيب شلون مشوهيها؟
And victory is never the final word. Proud? pitiful cry. Look! Race to the finish! To face death with the crown of glory! By my will! Let this light burn in all its fury! To me, there is no greater joy in this world.
What a shame. Seems the play I've written isn't well received.
Oh. سكار رجع.
Plotting in Renacita.
Oh, dear madam. Let's leave some mystery for the next chapter, shall we?
There is something no one can take from me. All the bruises I have just beneath this is solution to my doubts and deepest fears.
Wow.
It's not all about winning, but blazing till the
أخيرا. واو. الأغنية أول ما أخلص عشان أروح لازم أحملها.
It's real! Both of you are safe.
The Threnodian's frequency is gone. Well done, Lupa.
You
خلصنا
found a
منهم.
righteous one and safeguarded Septimont. It's like something out of a knight's tale. No, wait, gladiator's tale?
أبي أخيرا رجع.
Finally, I can stick my head out. Rover, you okay?
كان محبوس يعني ما كان مريض أو فشي.
I'm fine, Abby. What happened to you earlier?
Wait, we're already in Septimont?
No.
I was just talking to you, and then boom! It felt like something just covered me.
يعني
First it messed with my frequency, then I just passed out. Wait, Carthea? And a girl I don't know?
You're lively. Your echo is more boisterous than a Tadar.
What happened while I was out?
أبي.
I think it's time we compare notes. Let's fill in this story's blanks, shall we?
انتهت كلها بقصة واحدة. اكو رياليتي ثاني؟ ايش اكو رياليتي ثاني؟ انها معناها اذا اختارت عدم ثقة لوبا كان صار فشي ثاني؟ I don't know, maybe.
The event that brought forth the dark tide, it must have been my death. After that, the details of the story blur. It repeated so many times. It's hard to remember everything. All I remember is wandering the desolate city streets in a Septimont corrupted by the dark tide, unable to escape, until I met Carthea. She saved me. But in that story, we couldn't fully resolve the source of the disaster. Then in another story, I encountered you, my fellow warrior. After we parted, I awoke in yet another story, in the Veil of Glory, where I finally saw the Threnodian's true form in the submerged aqueducts. It had taken control of Mia's corpse and was using the Fraxidus' Sonoro to grow its power. After defeating it, the Sonoro began to collapse. I passed through those crumbling pages to find you. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
Tell me about your death. صدق شو ماتت بالأصل؟
Well, I'll start from the very beginning. My journey to win the championship. I had failed to expose the family's match fixing. After being deceived by Domina Julia and winning the title on my own, my memories became a blur. I was probably under some form of control. The last thing I clearly remember was standing in the central hub in the Veil of Glory, pressing my spear into something that resembled a control panel. Then the dark tide began to surge. In the end, all of Septimont was swallowed by it. I'm not sure when all this started, or where the line between the reality I knew and the Sonoro world created by the Fraxidus began to blur. But in those 3 days of the story where Cartothea didn't rescue me, I would always die on the first day, helplessly watching as my home slowly crumbled to dust.
Tell me about Mia and the Threnodian.
Many years ago, Mia cast herself into the sea to escape the Threnodian's control, but Domina Julia recovered her broken body from the depths and handed it over to the Fraxidus. For years, they subjected her remains to twisted experiments until the Threnodian's essence, still lingering within her, finally awakened. The Threnodian took control of Mia's corpse, turning it into a half-human, half-sea creature monstrosity. It formed an alliance with the Fraxidus. The last trace of Mia's reverberation was forced to be part of it, tortured and ravaged. Is there anything else you want to know? Oh,
no,
the script and the copper mirror you gave me. I'll return them to you now. It was a long story, but the ending turned out well. Though, thinking of Mia still upsets me. Her reverberations, trapped in that monstrous body. I can't imagine her suffering over the last 20 years.
When you defeated the Threnodian, you also set her free.
أخيرا طلعناها.
It was an honor to have that final battle with her. Thanks to you and Cartothea, I was able to rewrite the tragic ending of this story. Thank you, my fellow warrior, for believing in me.
ثانك يو انه انت ما صار بيك شيء، لو صار بيك شيء حرفيا يمكن كرهت اللعبة. كارتثيا منظورك شنو؟
When I sensed the Threnodian's power here in Septimont, I immediately set out to find its source. It was quite sudden. I slipped through the smallest of cracks to enter this Sonoro, which severed my contact with the outside world. I found Lupa in the city. She had lost her role. We traveled together for a time and discovered the architects of the destruction, the Fraxidus playwright Cristoforo and the Threnodian. Sadly, the playwright did eventually erase Lupa's existence. As for me, I descended into the submerged aqueducts where I found the Threnodian. It had inhabited Mia's remains and was hiding within an experimental unit. Unfortunately, I was unable to eliminate it entirely. It evaded me, slipping into hiding. I reasoned that you would sense the anomaly and come to Septimont, so I sought to offer you my aid. I battled the playwright, and in doing so, stripped him of his ability to control the script. Afterward, he, along with the other Fraxidus overseers, fled from me. With that, the Sonoro began to collapse. It was then that we finally met. Is there anything else you wish to ask?
يعني كان ضعنا بدونك حرفيا. Tell me about these roles and stories.
If you lose your role, is to lose both your name and memory. In truth, Mia has long since passed and does not truly exist here. It was Lupa, not Mia, who won the 3-day Aegon. I suspect the stories created by the playwright cannot stray too far from their original frameworks. The limitation of his resonance ability, This is why
Hello.
he erased Lupa's name, swapping her and Mia's identities. This allowed Mia to summon the dark tide upon Septimont.
Tell me about the Ternodian and the Central Hub.
The central hub within the Veil of Glory was established by the Sentinel, and it appears no one had ever entered it before. Activating it requires two key conditions. Victory, which grants the blessing bestowed by the Lioness of Glory through the Sentinel's mandate, and a trace of the Sentinel's frequency.
كانت مية عدها
The
ثنتين.
Threnodian set its sights on Mia for this very reason, which in turn brought its attention to Lupa. The Threnodian's frequency has vanished from Septimont, but I
Hello.
fear this is far from over. There is something
Checking.
else. Due to the dark tide in the Sonoro, I can feel my balance shifting. The Threnodian's pull is growing stronger.
You need to head to the Black Shores, Cordelia. They've been dealing with the Thenodian for years. You should go there and run some tests. They'll know how to handle what's coming.
The Black Shores. Is that where you're from?
Yep.
If it's a place you trust, then I will go.
Yeah.
There's one more thing. We should return to the central hub in Septimont. I found something tied to you there.
The central hub. Good timing. There's something I need to handle in the Veil of Glory, too.
Good. Let's set off together.
خلينا نشوف شكو بعد ايش بقى. هنا كانوا قالوا آثار الإمبراطور، يعني مال كارتيثيا.
I destroyed the experimental unit, pursued the Threnodian, and defeated the Lioness of Glory it controlled. Then, I came across this place. You remember how the Threnodian took on a part of the Sentinel's knowledge and permissions, yes?
Mm-hmm.
For the Sentinel, the information stolen was their very memories. For this reason, even the Sentinel forgot that before merging with the Threnodian, they transferred some of their knowledge to the central hub in Septimont.
Hello.
The knowledge they would later forget.
المهمات.
It
Yeah,
was a
but-
secret, one the Threnodian should never learn. The Sentinel moved it there for safekeeping.
Hello.
Within it, I found a special frequency. A part of it felt like yours.
Huh?
I believe it's what the Sentinel left for you, so I took it.
Huh.
It seems like a clue. The true secret they left for you is not here, but in that direction. You see, before I came to meet you, I passed by the city of Septimont. The arena I destroyed has been restored, but in the people's hearts, it's still the righteous one and Lupa who claimed victory. The Fraxidus's power to reshape reality is deeper than we realized. I'm afraid this is just the beginning. I once believed the Threnodians sought to use the Fraxidus to regain power, but its true goal is the central hub. I believe it's due to this secret the Sentinel has hidden.
That direction. It leads to the hunting grounds. The blight cloud still lingers there. When the high tide comes, Septimontians hunt and cull the spawning tacit discords.
Oh.
The dark tide connects everything. I cannot pinpoint where the Sentinel's message lies. I'm afraid you must go there yourself.
Hello.
But the worst of the storm has passed. Let's take a moment to rest. Lupa, Will you be our tour guide? Show us the sights and glories of Septimont? I'd love to hear more about what you mentioned earlier. The wind blowing through golden flags and the sound of wind chimes.
Of course, it would be my honor. But before we go, there's something I need to do first.
واو.
Travel through a silver veil above the drifting mist.
What is that? هذا سيف ميا؟
It's Mia's sword. I went through a lot to bring it back. The monster is gone now. Like so many Septimontian heroes whose bodies were never recovered, I wanted to return her weapon. This is where she gave her life. I can't say if she loved or hated Septimont more. But she once spoke of the bloodleaf viburnum. It's a tribute often given to gladiators by their supporters. So, I think she would have wanted to rest here. It's beautiful. Our city. The city of glory. The people here love
واو
to
صدق حلوة.
laugh, carve statues, and hunt. It burns like fire, drenched in both victory and defeat. It holds all our disappointments and all our hopes.
واو زين. الحمد لله نهاية مرضية. جيت كلش خايف ليأذوا هاللوبة. الحمد لله الأخير قصة سيبتيمونت خلصت بسلام. لوبة همزين طلعت عايشة، وما طلعت انه هي من صنع الثرنوديين، طلعت هي من صدق من جماعة سيبتيمونت الأصليين، يعني مو مزيفة، وانما مجرد كانوا دا يحاولون يبوقون دورها حتى يخلون مية على مود تقبل السالفة كلها. هسه حاليا لقينا جزء من الفريكونسي اللي تركنا اياها السنتينل. اعتقد كان مثل البنج. انا سمعت ايش قالت لوبا، ما اعرف كارتيثيا، قالت let's rest for now، يعني انتظروا فد كم تحديث، يلا ممكن ينزل شابتر جديد. واو بس والله حلو استمتعت، يعني واو ولا غلطة هالشابتر كان. اوكي يا جماعة، ان شاء الله استمتعتوا وياي وتونستوا بهالكويست مثل ما انا تونست، وان شاء الله يعني وصلت توقعاتكم. اني هسه حروح ابحث اشوف، يعني اختارينا بالبداية عدم الثقة بلوبا، ما نقول لها شنو يصير، يعني كان ايش صار بالوضع، كان القصة اخذت يعني غير طريقة او لا. حسيت كان مثل نوعا ما قرار مصيري، يعني هم رسم اول ما بديت رسم اختار انه هي هاي عجبك وشلون تسلسل الاحداث هو اللي حيصير من عنده. وصلتوا لهنا، لا تنسوا اللايك والاشتراك، واذا عجبكم الفيديو ادعموني حتى استمر. فمع السلامة.